Hi, Sagittarius. Welcome to your October 2022 general tarot reading. It's Rena here. I always say I'm a sun and Sag, so okay, this one, I think I'll do this one. So I'm always, kind of eager. Wow. I'm really happy. I'm really happy here. And I'll tell you why in a minute. I'm gonna pick another card. All right. Okay. Reason Seven of Wands is one of those cards. It's like, but it's wands. So here we have three wands cards. So wands is fire. We're fire. Sag. We are fire. Okay, let me see. Just like to get it all in the shot. Okay, let's start here. And it's all about independence, enthusiasm, creativity. The heart of the matter is the Eight of Wands. Now, this is how I'm going to interpret it based on my own life and feeling about this. The idea of dormancy and then all of a sudden an activation, okay? And that's how I see the Eight of Wands. It's like all of a sudden everything springs to life. And certainly we are having in October Mercury going direct at the beginning, on the 2nd of the month. And there are a couple of other planets that are going direct. So what I want to say about that is if you have felt like things have been stuck for you, this could be the month where things start to pick up again. For the first few weeks, there is the sun and some of these transiting inner planets in a compatible sign to Sag, Libra. The Virgo energy squares Sag off. By the way, I've done an astrological reading for this month, so you can check my channel for more details on that. But yeah, I like that. I really do like what that represents. In the past position, we have the Five of Swords. Now, this is a card where I think of almost like 12th house activity of like secret enemies and things going on behind the scenes. And I almost, when I think about this, I almost think about it from a supernatural point of view too, because sometimes my partner and I are both Sages, and he was looking for something and he had just had it in his hands and all of a sudden he couldn't find it. And he goes, you know what? I think this is like some kind of external force coming in and trying to mess with us. And I've had the same thing happen multiple times with my keys. And I mean that there's no logical explanation for it. But the point is that even, with the Five of Swords, I think of haters. And they can be people that really are admiring you, but they are envious of you at the same time. They're jealous of your light. And these kinds of people can be two-faced. They could be co-workers. Sometimes I see them as co-workers, but you might not be working in an office environment. So they could have some other kind of position in your life. But the bottom line is that they have this, it's almost like siphoning off energy. So sometimes these things happen because Sag is an open book and they tell people that they're indiscriminate about who they are opening up to. So it might be time for some Sages to guard their energy, to guard their life force and what they share with certain people, and know who is supportive and who isn't. And it's hard sometimes because the Five of Swords can be that this is not upfront. But if you're really tuning into it, you may be able to get a feel for who is really in your corner and who isn't. But this is in the past position. So, even if, this could even be to me somebody keeping you down. Like if you were looking for a job and it was just like crickets, you might start getting offers all of a sudden, or if your business is kind of slowing down, you might start getting it. But there might be like these, in the backdrop, kind of these negative entities, if you will. I'm even saying in the physical sense, or in this worldly sense, that are, doing something. They might not be coordinated, but they're still trying to keep you down. But you know what? If you are a believer if you're aligned with your highest purpose, then you're going to be trusting the higher vision of what is happening, not, within certain periods of time. Because again, the Mercury retrograde too, that's the five of, that could be the Mercury retrograde as far as I'm concerned. Because swords connect with, I think of the five of swords, maybe as Gemini, that's ruled by Mercury. So it could be maybe the Mercury retrograde held you back from things that you've been waiting for, and now it's all systems are go. The higher message is the 10 of Cups. And what just came into my mind is all's well that ends well. Okay, this is the card of happily ever after. Now, it does have a connotation with family, harmony, marriage, but this, I'm not reading it as that literal meaning. I'm just trying to get the spiritual lesson in this, and it could be that all's well that ends well, that even if these periods of time, they can test us, maybe there's a higher reason why they're testing us. Maybe it's not just to drive us crazy, to, make us think, oh my God, what's going to happen next? Maybe it really is to hone us, forge us by the fire, and that we will be stronger as a result of that. What crosses you is the Nine of Cups. This is a card that I would say, even if it's like the Sun card, if it's, I'm reading it like a reverse card, it's not a bad thing. Because this is actually, oh my God, this is Jupiter in Pisces. Oh my gosh. And I'm reading it as a reverse card, and it actually is. Jupiter is retrograding. So I think I was, when I was thinking about my own life, and I was even thinking about Jupiter retrograding too, even though this is for, I was thinking of Sun in Sag people, Jupiter is still ruling your Sun sign, so it might have some significant influence over your life when it's direct, when it's retrograde. And it was, in Aries, and that's a more harmonious sign for it to be. And now it's in Pisces. And, you have Neptune in Pisces, and that can also make things kind of murky, can make things a little bit hard to pin down. For Sagittarius, Pisces is the fourth house of home and family. And there may be some excesses in this area for you in some way. And maybe, when I get to the Emperor card, I'll tell you what I think that's about. But, Sagittarius tend to take things for granted, and they overestimate things, are overly optimistic. I mean, optimism is great, but when you're trying to make decisions, sometimes you can overshoot it a little bit. But I think also it's talking about the Jupiter retrograde. Jupiter goes direct on November 23rd, the same day as a new moon in Sag. So that might be a turning point for some Sagittarius. This idea of Jupiter turning direct on the same day as the new moon in Sag. So it could be saying, things are moving, but they will really move come the end of November. And sometimes that seems like so far away, but, just hang in there and be of good faith. If you've had kind of this sense that things are dragging, you may start to see some movement in October and then definitely in late November. What's coming in is the Ace of Wands. This is that energy of fresh starts, a lot of enthusiasm being generated. So that can be this sense of your life is moving forward in a very positive way, and there's nothing that you have to, it's not about it's about going with that flow, because it's a very powerful initiator. I don't know if this is connected to Aries, but I certainly connected to it myself. This idea of, absolutely new beginnings, that we feel that we are self-empowered to initiate. That we're, in other words, it's not something that we're being forced to do. It's something that we're putting forth. And it can also be that it's like if you have your own business, if you're starting some kind of creative project, you feel that power. It's like to me, it's almost like the minor arcana version of the Magician card. And the outcome, I did pick an additional card, is the Seven of Wands. And what I got, because I always have trouble with this card, like, what does this actually mean? I always think of stand your ground. If somebody is trying to, just like whoever this person or people are, it's like you're not going to allow anybody to dominate you. But I think also that this is about protect your energy. The number 7 is a number of introspection. And so it might be more solitude, but maybe more meditative pursuits than what the fire energy is very yang. Meditation is a yin activity. And there's such an active quality with fire that it is directed upon the world. But sometimes you don't need to, like I said before, you don't need to tell people, anybody, but especially, the whole world, what you're up to. So that could have something to do with social media as well. And it's interesting because Saturn is going direct in the 3rd house, which is social media, right around the time that the sun goes into Scorpio. So that's interesting too, because that can be, that's the hibernation period, right before, the month before Sag debuts again with the sun in the 1st house. So definitely this idea that you may have been playing around with, and I know I have, and this, if you're a sun in Sag, this is your solar chart, so you may not give it much credence, but to me, the solar chart can be very much what you are directing outward, not what is happening to you, so to speak. So there's more of that, sense of what you aspire to become and what you're putting into motion. And so if you have been in the last few months really thinking about the role of social media in your life, is it siphoning your energy? Is it making you feel defensive, like you have to explain yourself, or maybe you compare yourself to other people and that doesn't feel good? All of these things are in your hands to alter in some way, to change how you approach it. And it can be a very exciting experiment. So don't be afraid to, test things out and see what works for you. And I picked a clarification card and I got the Emperor. Perfect. So the Emperor is number 4. It's actually number 5 in the major arcana, but it's number 4. It's numbered 4 because we have a 0, of course. And so this is about getting your life in order, getting your house in order. The fourth house is the house of home and family. But that's, symbolic for your own self, in a material sense. Like what kind of things, what kind of routines do you have? What kind of things are taking up your attention, and how can you get those under control without feeling controlled? Because Sag wants freedom. We don't want to feel like we're heavily regimented. We like that spaciousness in our lives, and that's the expansion that gives us room to expand. So, play around with these ideas in October to see what really works for you. A solar eclipse in the 12th house, solar eclipse, it's a new moon in the 12th in Scorpio on the 25th of October may give you new seeds being planted in the area of spiritual discipline, the spiritual path itself for you, and that can improve every area of your life. So anyway, I hope that this resonated with you. Sag, if you would like a private reading, I've been doing more than my usual amount of readings for Sagittarius, which is really cool. It doesn't always happen like that, Sometimes it seems like I'm reading a lot for one sign, and I don't know why, it goes like that, but it does. But anyway, I'm primarily an astrologer, and I do have package readings that I developed being a Sag and liking more rather than less when it comes to what the type of readings, like longer readings. But I offer them as a special price if you buy the package deal, which is an hour of natal interpretation of your chart and an hour of upcoming transits for the next 12 months. It's called my deep dive reading, and that's probably my most popular reading. I do the tarot and chart analysis called Whole Enchilada, and these are discounted readings, package deals, and then I do standalone readings too. You can find out all the information about this and order at rainamoonastrology.com /shop, or just click on the link below. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye.